It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theater, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray, who I believe may have seen 2 movies that had robots last week.
That's true.
I saw 3 movies with robots, but it's not a competition. So, who did you like better, Merman, Charles or Socks?
I would have to go with Socks.
Yeah, Socks was pretty cute. Okay, so with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
I know it's not a competition, but I have the biggest robot. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can have as many robots as you want, but mine is the biggest. And thanks for all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, and share, and give us a 5-star rating on your favorite listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. And we probably will watch it.
Maybe.
Most likely. Now, let's get to raging, but first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5
Pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
What time is it, Jim?
It's streaming time!
The dance.
Oh, baby. Oh, we've been streaming. We've been streaming. And we've been streaming. And doing what?
Yeah, we were streaming, Jim.
Even Murray did some streaming on the weekend. Chapow. I haven't streamed for a while. It's kind of nice.
Because there's nothing in the theater.
Actually, this was the one weekend where there was lots in the
Yeah.
theater, but for some reason, Jim said, you know what? I really want to see these 2 movies, so we're doing it on the podcast.
And since no one complained, we still did.
There you go. All right, so we started with Cha-Cha Real Smooth.
On Apple Plus.
On Apple Plus. Yeah, Cha-Cha Real Smooth stars Cooper Wraith, who also wrote and directed this film that is awkwardly charming but starts to wear thin by the 3rd act. Wraith's character Andrew was amusing for a while, but after you are witness to his shtick repeatedly in every single frame of this film, he's in every single freaking frame of this film, it kind of starts to become annoying. This story of meat stick employee turned bar mitzvah host who befriends an autistic girl and her mother has many genuinely good scenes that involve Andrew and the various characters in the film. A couple of heartfelt scenes with his brother stand out, but much of this was hit and miss. Rafe shows us many relationships within that seem pretty natural and organically blossom with little gimmickry, but many of the characters are woefully underdeveloped. Leslie Mann stars as Andrew's mother, but we never really get to know anything about her. Apparently she is bipolar, but this was never evident from what we were exposed to. We also got Brad Garrett as the stepdad, who was good in the role, but underdeveloped as well, and underutilized in my opinion. I did, however, like the open-ended way this concluded. There are stretches of excellent, but there are also stretches of extreme meh. Overall, I would say that I'm looking forward to what Cooper Wraith does in the future, but as for his current release, it's a meh.
Okay. which I'm kind of a little disappointed. Not in you, but I'll get to that.
All right.
I'm never really truly disappointed in you. Well, that's a lie. This film has a bunch of layers to the dynamics of all the characters involved. It is focused around a 22-year-old train wreck of a person who may be one of the kindest and confused Jewish dudes on the planet. So many little plot points of weird and quirky interactions happen. In fact, I had a tough time as I watched it wrapping my head around some of the nuances of our lead's decisions. I really enjoyed the twists and turns and the vulnerability of actually every character in the film. I would have truly loved it at times, but the close talking of the characters and some of the acting didn't allow me to have a full love of that. It did seem a little forced and a little underwhelming at times. I really did love the story and the true love that is displayed by the family as they support each other. But a few of the direction and some of the acting took away from the film a little bit for me. So great story, quirky story. A few flaws makes this Apple Plus an Apple meh.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it too, but
I think, yeah. I don't know if I would say I didn't like the characters.
Yeah, I liked all the characters.
Yeah.
I disagree with you that there was layers to every one of them because I'm sorry, I know nothing about his mother.
Well, okay, right, but you did know enough about what his mother was. Like, I agree with you. I don't think the characters were fully developed, but I think that the characters were very well defined. So you knew what his mother was about, and you knew how she supported him.
You think his stepdad was well defined?
I think Brad Garrett's character was, it was kind of surprising at the end because I don't think he was in it enough. Mm-hmm. But I think because they didn't focus so much on that relationship because you're right, it's all about him. The story is about him.
Seriously, find me 3 seconds out of that entire film when his bloody face isn't on the screen, and I will give you $100.
Closing credits?
Yeah, closing credits. Thanks, Maria.
You cheated.
Cha-ching, I just got $100. Yeah, I like the quirky characters a lot.
He just wore thin on me after a while. I was very amused for the first 20 minutes, not as amused for the next half hour. And by the time we got to the last 25, I was like, really?
It's ready to be done. Yeah, you know what? I liked it. I liked the film. I didn't love it.
I liked it too, and there are some brilliant scenes in this. Some of the scenes which probably people are always going to be talking about the scenes with their names have left me. But
the person who had
the mother
autism,
and the daughter.
Yeah.
People are going to point to those scenes as some of the most powerful, but honestly, the scenes between him and his brother were the ones that I thought there was about 2 or 3 of them that were tremendous.
Yeah,
and there was some very, very good stuff in here, but what was it, like an hour and 50 minutes or something?
It was a little long, yeah.
And it didn't need to be. And
but there was some cool cha-cha dancing.
There was there? I don't even remember. There was a little bit of cha-cha dancing.
There was a little bit of cha-cha.
By some, happening. You mean like
at the bar mitzvahs and the bat mitzvahs.
Yeah. So an hour and 50 minutes is only 2 minutes of dancing in this movie?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the title is just who he became.
Yes.
It was good.
It was good.
It was meh. All right. 1 for 1. This is when things start to go off the rails, I think. We also saw on Shudder.
Bum, bum.
Mad Dog.
I don't get a dum-dum from you, dum-dum?
Okay, do it again.
We saw Mad God on Shudder.
No, that was Netflix. Okay, do it again.
We saw Mad God on Shudder.
Dum. I can't even remember how it really goes.
And Murray just outdid you is what it all put. Apparently he saw one more mini robot movies than you.
Apparently.
I guess this would be a robot movie too. Really, there were robots in it, weren't there?
Robots all over the place.
There's so much robots going on right now.
I saw 4 then, and Murray saw 3.
There's also a robot and Alien, is there not?
There is.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's 4-4. It's all tied up.
This is all robots. Well, you saw Alien too, so because you didn't think Murray saw it.
I didn't think Murray saw it.
All right. Well, you know what? This is an all robot episode.
There's a lot of robots.
So this stop motion puppet, live action puppet film, 30 years in the making,
Yes.
is a thing to be in awe of. Puppets. The amount of detail and time it took to make this film alone is enough to make anyone want to see it. Or at least they should want to see this. This film is weird and extravagant and full of grotesque creatures doing grotesque things, and does not shy away from anything in regards to the depths of weird and wonderful. But all that, but with stop animation and puppets.
Lots of puppets.
There was puppets. Think a demented Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
But with filthy and vile creatures torturing and getting off in every imaginable way. All this through no real speech, but just sound and music, and done through stop animation and puppets.
And so much bodily fluid.
And so much bodily fluid. Yes, I'll say it again. Stop animation and puppets. The dying art of animation. It's dying. At least stop animation. It was awe-inspiring, and all from the director-writer mind of Phil Tippett, who has done the technical work on such mainstream films as Jurassic Park, RoboCop, and Star Wars, just to name a few. Perhaps suppressing his twisted mind by working on Hollywood mainstream allowed him to be as creative as this film shows us. His mind is messed up, and I loved every second of it. From the titballs monster to the disposable faceless zombie creatures, your mind at times cannot comprehend what exactly is the purpose. But then you realize it doesn't really matter. Just take me to another level of fucked up weirdness. I can take it. And take it I did. Again and again and again. I loved every minute of this weird puppet stop animation film. This was puppet-gasm mondo.
What say you, Murr?
Well, Jim, I believe you said the magic word. What was the magic word you used?
Puppet?
No.
Stop animation?
Weird.
Weird, that's right. I did say that.
What do I think about weird?
You don't like
Remind
weird.
me?
You don't
Yes,
like weird.
I don't like weird. Animation was impressive.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Stop animation?
No dialogue.
You
no
didn't,
story.
but you didn't say the puppets?
Just creepy images.
Yes.
Yes.
Rage.
Oh.
Huh.
I didn't expect Murray to like it.
No.
Well, I didn't
You
expect
were
him to
right.
hate it, but I also didn't expect him to like it.
I didn't super hate it, but yeah, half an hour in, there's like no story. It's just a bunch of creepy
Oh,
stuff.
didn't
there
need a
was,
story.
there was a lot of story.
There was
Well,
no story.
He just created
It's
a world.
yeah, exactly.
He's a god. He's a mad god.
He said, I don't like weird. It's
True.
Was weird
This was nicely
to
weird.
the max.
Okay, weirdo, what did you think?
Mad God. Mad God, the movie, may be proof that Phil Tippett is indeed a mad god. 30 years in the making and worth the wait. This is the story of a world hanging on to a thread, but hanging on nevertheless. No cumbersome plot to distract us from the overwhelming visuals. Characters include an assassin, an alchemist, a surgeon, and the last human. The motivations of the characters are unclear, other than their desire to survive in a world full of peril. The beings within this stop-motion nightmare are sometimes eaten, sometimes dismembered, for no apparent reason. And other times, they are victim of a hit-and-run. Splat. They are desperate for sustenance, as you will see, if you can stomach to watch. Let's call it the toilet scene, and leave it to that. So much is going on in this world where everyone is just trying to survive, where there is little concern for anyone but yourself, as every violent act that occurs is ignored by any witnesses that may be around. It shows us the perseverance of life in a world that continually tries to extinguish it. A lesson for all of us, perhaps.
I'll take that lesson.
This was gross and perverted and dark and brooding and violent and dirty and pessimistic and amazing and wonderful, and the most importantly, It was Mondo.
Yes, it was. It was a total tip-it-gasm Mondo.
Oh, I could not. I'm sitting there going, I don't even know what's going on, and I don't care.
Which normally you care, because you get confused easy.
I am just letting this whole thing.
That's me.
Oh, man.
No, he gets confused easy, too. Half the things that comes out of his mouth is, what is happening?
You know what? In this case, I was going, what is happening? And I like it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. When the Tit Balls monster came out, I was like... Everything in it is just like warping my mind, man. I know.
And it's great.
I want to live inside that puppet stop animation.
So good.
Fest of deliciousness.
Yeah, this is a lost art, this the old stop motion, and he just nails it. It was so
Took him
good.
30 years.
Yeah, well, and he was just basically working on it on the weekends and getting people volunteering their time.
He's actually working for a living.
Yeah.
I tell you,
He was busy.
if you're going to spend 30 years on a movie, at least make it good.
Make it this one.
And this, man, this was so good. I love this.
Yeah, so did I. I watched it twice.
Good for you.
Well, that was it we got for streaming.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got to go to the cinemas.
We always go to the cinema.
We do.
Always. Even when we have to watch terrible, terrible remakes or sequels or superhero movies.
But we didn't have to do that this week.
No, we didn't have to. But I think you guys did something like that.
Not really. What
Maybe.
kind of?
Well, who knows what Murray's going to talk about on the Murman Minute? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a real secret.
Is it?
A little bit.
Oh, I guess I'm up first. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Put me on the spot.
You mean like the agenda that puts you on the spot?
Yeah, but usually when I'm first, I have to actually do a description of the movie. Yeah, we saw Brian and Charles, which is a British/comedy, heartwarming type deal, and it's some nerdy guy inventor who basically invents himself a robot to talk to.
Another robot?
And they make him out of a washing machine and a dummy's head. And
So much robot.
then
So much
miraculously
robot.
he just comes alive, like through no fault of the inventor. He just kind of all of a sudden comes alive for no reason. I don't know how that happened.
It's magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like his best friend, and he talks to the guy, and yeah, then things kind of go south.
And then they go north.
or
And
north.
then they go east.
When the whole
And then
town,
they go west, too.
And then they go
depends
north
how,
again.
I will say I was pleasantly surprised to see the appearance of, I can't remember her name, but played his love interest. She was on my favorite detective series,
Oh, okay.
aka Sherlock.
Okay.
For
Lucy Liu?
4
Is that her
seasons. No,
Oh.
she played
Sherlock.
I don't know.
She played Molly Hooper, who was the coroner, who was basically in love with Sherlock for like 4 years. But
Nice.
Anyway, but I like her. She was good. Yeah, it was cute for the first 30 minutes. I didn't really like the whole bully storyline.
I know you don't like bullies.
Main character was way too much of a wimp. So was the whole town. Like, there's basically this family that moves into this small village, and they do whatever the hell they want. The guy shows up to the grocery store and just takes stuff without paying and knocks things over, and there's no like law enforcement, nobody to actually stop this family from bullying the whole freaking town.
Yep.
And yeah, spoiler alert, basically they steal his robot. And he just lets them. So that's basically the story. Yeah, I didn't like the ending too much. It was a meh.
That was it? You didn't like the ending and it was meant?
No, it was cute for a while, but then I kind of got over it.
Well, apparently you haven't been to Wales.
I have not been to Wales.
Because I think it's like this in every place.
I have been to
isn't it?
England a lot, and in small town England, but yeah.
As have I.
I've never been to England.
Or Wales.
But the places I've been to are still civilized enough to not let people like this get away with that stuff. But
I've
Well,
also never
small
been to
small
This village
towns
is not like
sometimes don't have a police officer because they don't have the money. But Bryce, what do you have to say about Brian Charles and the second robot movie of our
second robot
episode?
movie
Is it only the second? Oh,
I
guess
think
it
so,
is.
yeah.
so far.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf told me that.
Yeah. He also said, I would do anything for love, but I wouldn't do that. Maybe that's a robot.
That's a robot too.
Brian and Charles was written by David Earl and Chris Hayward, who also star as the 2 lead characters.
What?
One is an inventor who brings his random thoughts to life in the form of inventions such as a pinecone bag, which is literally a bag with pine cones glued
on it. Yeah.
Or an egg belt, which is a belt that can hold multiple eggs.
Exactly.
He also has a cabbage bin, but I'm pretty sure he didn't invent that one.
He just eats a lot of cabbage.
He does eat a lot of cabbage.
So does a robot. I don't know how that
robots
works.
eat
Yeah, I don't know how the
cabbage.
robot can eat either. That kind of got beyond me,
Well,
too.
cabbage is, easy to eat.
The other lead character is Charles, who is one of Brian's inventions. He is a robot with a thirst for knowledge and cabbage. The comedy is offbeat, with some of my favorite moments being Brian just staring into the camera after Charles has done something either unexpected or beyond what Brian thought he could do. I enjoyed much of the time I spent with these friends, although I was hoping for a third act that delivers like the first 2/3 of the film. This was an inventive and enjoyable film with many laughs and likable characters to root for. This was a high meh.
Okay.
I also had a problem with the whole talking to the camera thing. Like,
He's being interviewed.
Yeah, but who's it? Why is he being interviewed?
Actually, that's the best part. It's the fact that
You never find out.
it's almost like a mockumentary, but
Yeah.
it's like
well, yeah, because
who's following this guy around 24 hours a day?
Who isn't following
Because the
this
camera guy
guy?
actually asks him stuff.
Yeah.
I know, it's fantastic.
So it isn't like he's just breaking the fourth wall.
No.
You can tell he's being interviewed.
Yeah,
He absolutely is.
I don't get why, but that. Whatever.
And I don't either.
Because he's a
but
unique character that deserves to be watched.
I just want to know why more people weren't interviewing. Why wasn't there multiple cameras? That's what I want to ask. So this is the story of friendship, innocent love, simple folk, and of course, cabbages.
Cabbages.
Oh, cabbages. You're so awesome. This is one of those movies that if you go to it with the right frame of mind, that frame that believes in miracles and fantasy and the unbelievable, you will, like me, sit with a smile on your face for the entire movie. Well, except for a few minutes of bad guys being dicks, which, to be honest, was expected and predictable with the foreshadowing that they introduced. But the fantastical of this film and the heart of Brian and Charles Perchescu makes up for a lot of the foibles of the obvious predictability in this story. This is one of those films that will be fun for everyone who sees it. And in my opinion, this film will be seen in the same light as films like The Princess Bride or Wizard of Oz. Well, maybe not that powerful, but it is going to be a family favorite for sure. This is not necessarily for everyone who sees this film, I think. But I think these two lovable scamps are so much joy to behold all the way through this movie. I kind of have a tendency to a little bit agree with Bryce about the third act, but you cannot see loving these two characters. They're just, even with their misgivings and some of it, I couldn't unpack my joy through this whole film. So because I had a smile on my face for the entire film, this made it all the way to Mondo for me. I know there's flaws.
Yep.
And I was very easy to overlook it just because I just couldn't stop smiling the entire movie. And if a movie keeps the smile on my face, I don't care if there's a few flaws in it, I will overlook it.
That is absolutely fair. It was quite enjoyable.
I think there's a few things that we could probably unpack on it.
Such as?
Just like the fact that it's such a simple idea for this movie, and it really just holds you together with the two main characters.
Yeah, it's just the interaction between these two that keeps the whole thing afloat, and it's delightful. It's no other way to describe it. It's just delightful.
It's like every time Charles would say something, it was kind of just like I couldn't stop giggling.
Yeah, well, as I say, I mean, every time that Brian would look at the camera after Charles, I mean, that just got me almost every time.
He was so well, like it was so well done. Like he just seemed like he was so simple and in awe that his genius of portraying that character was just like it almost like. Is this a documentary now? I think it might be just a documentary.
It really it felt like it because they were so natural. Those two.
Yes.
Some of the side characters.
Yeah, the bad dudes, maybe to Murray's point earlier about them, being dicks and being taken care of.
They're boring.
It's kind of like makes the plot seem a little weak, but at the same time, I have a feeling this is more of a family favorite type movie.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? It wasn't made for like adult audiences only, because I think you could take your 10-year-old to this and they would enjoy it because it's cute. They're not being dirty. There's no gratuitous sex, which I was a little disappointed with. Who wouldn't want to see robot sex?
Robots?
Yeah. Right?
Sure.
But yeah, it was
why are you making a robot unless you're going to fornicate with it?
Exactly. 100%. If I made robots, that's what
there would be some fornication involved.
Why else would you make them?
Exactly. So that's another robot. It's 2 robot movies down.
2 down.
Yes.
The next one, I don't think there was not one robot.
There were no robots in this. Well, let's just skip it.
I'm glad I missed it then.
No, let's definitely not skip this.
All right. The movie we're referring to was the robot-free Montana Story. Montana Story invites us into an intimate story that reveals itself slowly as a family's secrets surface. It's hard to say for some reason.
Say that 5 times fast.
This is very well written, and every character gets the development that they should. Owen Teague as Cal and Haley Lou Richardson as his half-sister Erin give natural, heartbreaking performances that anchor the entire film. Every frame of this film was layered, as it took me in unexpected directions, and I genuinely had no idea how to feel throughout a lot of it. There are scenes that start with trepidation and mistrust that evolve into moments of connection. There are scenes with raw emotion, such raw emotion that I found myself entranced by the depth of the situation. The pacing of this lets you reflect upon everything. It does not rush to conclusion. What it does do is mesmerize you with superior acting. Superior acting. I am having time.
Say that 20 times fast.
Trouble talking today.
Sing it out loud then, baby.
What it does do is mesmerize you with superior acting and amazing writing. This film is the reason I go to the movies, as every now and then I get a gem like Montana Story. It shows us that filmmakers do not need a big budget, just a good script and good actors. This is really all you need to create greatness. This was perfectly paced, emotionally draining, superiorly acted, and written. This was a mondo.
Nice.
I struggled through that, but I got there.
You made
I got
it.
to the end.
You climbed the mountain. You climbed the Montana mountain.
I only stuttered
17 times.
That's what happens when you write too many paragraphs. You just gotta, go from.
That's great. Go from your genitals.
Go from your guts.
That's what we were talking earlier.
I love this movie.
Robot genitals.
Good.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's not very often you get a story as deep and unraveling as this. It takes its sweet time to progress from a beginning of confusion and disarray to clarity and redemption. By one small breadcrumb at a time, this story has deep characters, even the peripheral ones who are so well acted. This story so heavy and at times overwhelming and frustrating, but oh so satisfying. The only real complaint I have of this movie is, I would say, the trailer, which advertises the cinematography is so big you will need to see this on the biggest screen, but was actually the weakest thing in this movie. The scenery of the beautiful mountains are so very secondary to the size and scope of the great actors. In fact, shooting in Montana is almost wasted because you really can't take your eyes off our actors. Half the time, the mountains were not even in focus. The music fits the surroundings so well, and as does the sound, but really, they become background again to the writing of this amazing dialogue. Montana, the place is big and vast and beautiful, and the movie is Montana Story Mondo. This film was so surprising actually.
I didn't even want to go to it.
I know you didn't. It was so like you can tell this is so budget, but not budget in a way that it looks cheap. It's just they didn't have to spend a lot on this movie, but because it's really a lot of dialogue and people connecting.
Yeah.
And what's really great about it is they do tie into this and weave into it the characters of these indigenous people from Montana who are, they're displaying them as just regular people. What a concept to just introduce characters who just happen to be indigenous, but also happen to be just normal people. You know what I mean? Like they didn't try and make this about the issues. They bring up some things, obviously, to bring to light about what's happening at Standing Rock and things like that.
They don't beat you over the head with
but
it.
They're not. It's so natural, and every single one of the actors.
That's the whole thing. Is every single actor in this movie was perfect.
Yeah,
like there wasn't a bad performance.
The casting was amazing,
or even a mediocre performance, or a performance that you go.
Yeah, they could have done that a little better.
No, there wasn't. Every single, this was so well cast, so well acted. I was just blown away, and I am so excited to watch what Owen Teague is going to do next.
Yeah.
This guy is so good, and I didn't even know I liked Haley Lou Richardson. I've seen her in some stuff, but she went to another level in this as well.
Yeah,
everybody was great.
When you have this type of dialogue in writing skills, I don't know what else has he done.
Who's that? Owen Teague?
Yeah, or Scott.
Oh, the
Scott McGee, the writer, director, producer. Yeah.
I did read about it, but I don't remember.
He did what Maisie knew.
Mm-hmm.
Uncertainty. A couple movies now I have to go back and see.
Yeah.
Obviously. You know what? These are the things. This is an independent film. Yep. So thank God for our art house cinema. That's what I want to say.
No kidding. So if you can, go out and find Montana Story, buy your ticket, and just sit back and enjoy. It is so, so good.
Climb that mountain.
All right.
All right, then. Well, there was actually another movie in the theaters
that had robots?
That wasn't on our list.
And why is that it wasn't on our list?
Because it was animated and it was a kids movie.
Exactly.
And made by Disney.
Yes. Well, we'd still see Disney movies if they weren't for kids.
Because I enjoyed I guess it would be the sequel. This is the prequel to it. I thought I'd check it out. That was Lightyear.
Lightyear.
A robot movie.
Well, Buzz Lightyear. Which, at the beginning of the movie, they basically tell you, like 1990, whatever, this kid was given this astronaut thing as a toy, and it was his favorite toy. And this is the movie that he saw that made him want the toy. And I'm like, but the movie just came out now. I don't know.
Second time.
I've seen two movies today, Alien and Lightyear.
With robots.
Two vastly different films.
But they both have robots.
Something in common. Well, two things in common.
Oh, two things.
The other is a creepy cat.
The cat in Alien wasn't that creepy.
I think he was creepy.
Cats are always creepy,
exactly.
Jim.
And
they're creepy.
And most of the time they're evil.
Cats are always evil, too.
Exactly.
I would just like to say to our listeners that not all of Film Rage believes that cats
just two-thirds
are evil.
Just
two-thirds
are evil.
Just the dog people in here.
Yeah. So Lightyear, it was animated. It was Disney. So it's never going to be, a Mondo for me. And it lost points steadily as I watched it. First of all, no Tim Allen.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Thank goodness.
Which, almost prevented me from seeing it. I mean, Chris Evans is okay, but he's no Tim Allen. And it was Disney.
I don't think he'd argue with you.
And it was animated, so it lost points for that.
So,
and it was a fairly stupid storyline.
I like where this is going.
I felt it was.
It was all right.
And you know what? A good thing that one thing that Buzz Lightyear could do really, really well: crash spaceships. Pretty much every ship he got into, he crashed.
Did he say to infinity and beyond at least?
He did that a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. For what reason? I don't get it.
I don't know. It was a thing with him and his friend.
It was like up and away.
I guess.
It was his
No.
to infinity and beyond.
No, that was just a saying that him and his buddy had.
Oh, okay.
But whatever.
So is
Yeah.
it? I'm kind of hearing this is kind of like Top Gun Maverick, but for cartoon
No.
critters.
Well,
No, it wasn't.
Not to really give away too much of the story here, but basically, they're on a foreign planet on a mission. Then a bunch of viney plant things come alive, and basically they try to escape in their rutabaga or turnip shaped ship, and he ends up crashing it. So then him and like hundreds of his crewmates are stuck on this planet. So basically, they spend years trying to find a way off the planet to develop new, high, what do you call it? Hyper speed, whatever it is.
Yep.
Technology to get off the planet. And every time he goes up, it's 4 minutes for him and it's 4 years for everybody else.
Ooh.
So basically, it takes 100 years. Everyone he knows is gone, and he's left with a bunch of incompetent cadets to basically save the planet with. But so that
How does this tie into Toy Story?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It was
Basically,
Buddy Andy's favorite movie.
Andy watched the movie when he was a kid, and he begged his
this
parents
movie-
to
The
buy the
movie
toy.
that he watched.
and then bought the Buzz
Then
Lightyear
bought the
toy.
toy.
Right.
So that's what they explained.
okay. Now I understand why
Yeah.
kids would want to see
Anyway,
this.
so
why
But-
did you two want to see this?
I don't know. I don't remember why. I like the original. I like Toy Story. I guess. But I'm not.
Did
really
you learn your lesson, Marie?
I don't know. It wasn't terrible, but one thing it did have going for it
Well, let's hear it.
is one of the buffoon cadets, which is on his team, is voiced by
Taika Waititi.
And he was freaking hilarious.
When isn't he?
He
freaking
was a complete
hilarious?
goofball. He was a klutz. He just kept screwing things up for him.
Nice.
And he was awesome. So basically, Taika Waititi saved it from a rage
Okay.
to a funny meh.
Sweet. Now, what did you think? I think you saw this too, didn't you?
I'll just
not?
say a couple things real quick because I saw Lightyear as well. Number one, when did Jack Black change his name to Peter Son? Because I swear to God, the voice of Socks is Jack Black. Every time I hear beep boop, it's Jack
Yeah, he
Black.
did that a
I'm
lot.
sorry.
The cat was cute.
Did they sing any Tenacious D?
No, but
There was
that
no
would have been
singing.
awesome.
There were no songs in this Disney movie.
Damn.
I'd also like to say that, it looks like Taika Waititi has gone full Disney now.
He may have.
Talk.
So yeah, he stars as Mo in this. And I'll just finish up by I liked Lightyear. It was meh.
Okay.
There you go.
And Marie liked things about it, and
Like
it was
things
meh.
about it, but I don't like animation as a rule.
Yes, it's not your genre of choice.
And I will say one good thing. As far as I know, there were no kids at the screening I went to, so I was happy about that.
Were any kids harmed in the making of this movie?
No.
We can only hope.
Was there kids harmed in the watching of this movie?
We can only hope.
Possibly.
Exactly.
They may have been scarred emotionally, but
Poor little CLFs.
poor little CLFs. That's right. All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Time for some rage.
Sweet, sweet, sweet rage. You know what I'm angry about the most this week, other than Putin? Is we saw two amazing films in cinema. I said we, collectively Bryce and I, and Murray and I saw one. And that's all we got to see this week. Because they also released Lightyear, which I also think still didn't do that well at the cinemas.
No, you get crushed by the dinosaurs.
Yeah, still dinosaurs and Maverick are crushing it.
Yep.
So that's my rage this week.
More
Is
movies.
why can't we see more movies like Brian and Charles and Montana Story in movies? That's ultimately my rage.
Because those don't make money, Jim.
I know, but
That's
if
the bottom
people,
line.
if real other people that are walking the street going to see these other crap,
So his rage is also
Fantastic.
that people are stupid.
People are stupid and go to stupid movies, which is an
Maybe.
ongoing thing.
I think that's part of your rage.
no,
That's
I can't.
They're
I mean,
shelling out their money to make Jurassic Park.
Jurassic and Top Gun Maverick.
Or Top Gun
and
Maverick
That's where
above-
everyone goes to those.
I don't think our listeners are those people because they wouldn't listen to us if they were looking for us to give praise to those mainstream movies.
I'm sure
so
someone
I
out
think
there-
maybe that is what I'm
I'm sure
complaining
someone
about.
out there liked Top
Yes.
Gun Maverick as much as I did.
I don't know. A few people did, I think. But yeah, you know what? Like, this is now we've hit the summer solstice.
It is.
And I don't think I've seen a blockbuster. Have I seen a blockbuster that I've given a Mondo to yet?
don't
Yeah,
think
but
so.
you don't enjoy blockbusters though.
I like blockbusters that are good.
Yeah. But what?
When's that happened?
That's
Why
a
is
good
Brian and
question.
Charles not been a blockbuster? Why isn't the Montana Story a blockbuster?
I believe the term is limited release.
They should have been filling that with cinemas instead of.
You're starting to piss me off, Jim.
Why is that?
Talk to your local cinema.
You'll find
owner.
out soon.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm done with my rage. That's all I
Gee,
want
would
to
they
say.
possibly be related?
No, I know he's got something other juicy up his
I
sleeve.
don't know.
My rage this week is the fact that every weekend at the movies was not as enjoyable as this one. I got to watch a quirky comedy with adorable characters in Frank and Charles, a triumph in storytelling with superior writing and acting in Montana Story, and I even got a chuckle or two out of Lightyear. That's a combination of Taika Waititi and Peter San doing his best Jack Black impression, had me giggling throughout. I got to watch 3 movies that were completely different from one another and were all worth watching. I cannot remember the last time that I could say that, but I hope that I'll be able to say it at some point.
Again in your life.
The fact that we do not get multiple quality films released every weekend makes me rage. So we're in direct.
Competition.
Where have I
No.
heard that before?
We're in direct competition
We're
with
got
our
the
rage.
same freaking rage.
Well, you
But
know,
it's so stupid. Like, how are we not getting? There's got to be movies that are being made out there that, other than Blockbuster, like, I've raged about this in the past.
It's
But
the
what
summer.
happened to the days when you had Blockbuster come out with 2 other movies that were the other options?
yeah.
That's gone. It's like Blockbuster and nobody competes against them. And then you might find a slot there like this week where there's not a bunch of Blockbusters, where you might sneak your little independent film in and hopefully
yeah.
it does good. And that's crap.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
And you think we're now in the time frame that last year's festival films should be now starting to hit cinemas.
Yeah.
But instead they're throwing them right to streaming. It's like some of the films, if we didn't by accident happen to have an art house theater in our city, we wouldn't have got to see films like Parallel Mothers or what was the one with Antonio Banderas that we like so much?
Competition.
Yeah.
That one's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's coming out soon.
but mainstream cinemas aren't playing these. So maybe our rage is directed at mainstream cinema.
I believe it is.
Maybe that's what it is.
I believe it's directed at.
I think we both knew that.
At the major movie theaters who honestly don't give a crap what we think.
Yeah, but so
They're
are
only out
they
there to make
actually
money.
filling the cinemas when they have 72 showings of one movie?
Well, yeah, that I don't agree with. If you have 15 screens, why are 8 of them have the same movie?
Yes!
I don't get that.
That's what makes it so stupid.
That I don't agree with. But yeah, because I mean, even if you gotta, hold movies over for a couple extra weeks, at least give somebody an option to see anything besides that one movie,
Yeah,
which they don't.
they just
But
keep holding on.
They just want to make the money. That's not really a surprise.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Hey listeners, it's Duncan from GDT Podcast, here to tell you about our show. On GDT Podcast, it's always a good day to talk about movies. Hosted by Gardner, Duncan, and Tarn, we discuss movies we love and interview independent filmmakers. Join us for in-depth interviews with your favorite independent filmmakers, like Jim Burkett, creator of Coherence, Greg Sestero from The Room, and many, many more. If you're interested in independent movies or want to make your own film, this is the podcast for you. Check out our show anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching the letters GDT and follow us on Twitter at GoodDayToPod.
Yeah, I don't believe that's their real names. Gardner, Duncan, and Taryn. Sounds made up.
Was that
It
the
sounds
real
like
names?
their first names are Good Day and Two.
And 2, yeah.
That's right.
That's right. That's legally changed names.
That's right.
All right, then.
Those dudes are awesome. All right. We got some listing to do.
We do.
And just remind people, go to our website, filmrageyyc.com, and take a look at our lists page, and you will see this is our segment where we're talking about the lists for multiple different reasons. But we're on a trend because of last week to put Harry Dean Stanton on the Mesmerized list. And Bryce said, and I was going to quote him, but why don't you quote yourself?
I have no idea what I said. I said probably something to the attempt that if Harry Dean Stanton can out-mesmerize somebody else that's
John
on our
Hurt.
list, no, I just said on our list at the time, then I will think about putting it, then we will put him on. If he can beat out somebody on our list, so we came up with the movie Alien, in which he and John Hurt are both in,
And our Mesmerized for Life,
and
Veronica Cartwright.
and our Mesmerized for Life, Veronica Cartwright. So, yeah.
Is that who was in it?
Yeah, she's in it, yeah.
Oh, I
she's
didn't-
the other woman.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, I watched Alien.
Yes, you did.
As did I.
I hate this movie.
What?
hate the movie.
How could you hate this movie? It's
Well,
so
I-
good.
I have never, ever, and I've tried to watch it.
A
Gotta
1,000 times?
Nah, probably 10 times. This week I tried to watch it twice, so I watched it 8 times before this. And I have never made it through without falling asleep.
Really?
Never in my life have I made it through
Funny you
Alien
should
without
say
falling.
that.
It's got to
Or
be really
Murray's.
good. And I'm sorry, Alien is just not great. Having said that, I saw enough of Harry Dean Stanton and John Hurt to have an opinion.
Okay.
Well, 'cause
Well,
they
I'm
didn't-
very anxious
They
to
didn't
it.
make it through the movie. So
But
once they died, you
they
stop
both
watching.
they both had pretty equal screen time when you
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
right
that's
down to it.
that's what makes this actually a real
Even?
good. Okay, so before you tell me your thoughts, because in my rewatch of it, I loved it just as much as I watched it the first time, and probably I don't watch very many movies multiple times, but I've seen Alien quite a few times.
I'm never watching it again or attempting to.
Well, you never know.
It's terrible.
You might have to watch it by accident.
It's just dumb.
But you know what? What actually made me, when I was thinking this, I was thinking, as much as I think John Hurt is amazing, and I think we all agree that Harry Dean Stanton is also amazing, I actually think they were outdone by Yaphet Kotto.
Black dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I agree too.
I mean, if we, because I have yet to see him where he's also not mesmerizing. This movie has a ton of people in it that
Yeah.
are pretty talented.
yeah,
So, okay, here's a question for you.
right.
If we add him on, do both of them go off?
I need to even rack my brain to think of 3 other movies he was in.
I think
I think he was in a Bond movie. I don't remember anything else.
he's been in a ton of stuff that I think you've probably seen over the years.
I think he was in the
But-
first Roger Moore movie. I think it was Live and Let Die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in
He
Live
was
and
in
Let
that.
Die.
But that's the only thing I remember him in.
He was in Midnight Run, also, which I'm sure you've
really?
seen. He was in The Running Man. Do you remember that one?
Schwarzenegger?
Yep.
Huh.
He's the black dude in that.
Never saw it.
I'm just going. He's been in a lot of TV.
I don't know. I
That's the
couldn't,
problem.
I couldn't tell you his name, but I know his face. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of stuff. But yeah, he was, out of those 3, he was definitely the best character.
Yeah, Murray's got it. He's in Live and Let Die. The Limit, Bone. He's in it a few. Yeah. He doesn't have a big, because he's very much a TV actor.
And it was mostly 70s, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
He died
so
young.
I don't think he out-mesmerized
Them in the
so-
movie.
so it
Okay,
doesn't-
so that's not happening. He's not making it. Okay, so,
So does that? So that means that you're just putting that aside then?
well, obviously, unless we decide to see more of his stuff, but if he can't beat these 2, then there's no sense putting him forward. So, okay, who did in your opinion, did Harry Dean Stanton out mesmerize John Hurt?
Yes. And I only say that, and it's close. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
I wasn't super mesmerized by either of them.
No.
But I hated this movie. It's terrible.
But we know that doesn't matter if the acting is there.
The acting was there. Actually, the acting was there on Harry Dean Stanton. This is the worst I've ever seen John Hurt in my life.
Yeah,
he was
it's
not good.
his best
He's
role.
not good in this.
It wasn't.
So-
Which, I mean, you see 1984 and you're kind of like,
Yeah. It's like, but, if we're basing it on this, and yeah, Harry Dean Stanton.
Murray, what do you say?
Then he reprises the same character in Spaceballs,
Yes.
making fun of himself.
Yes. He's awesome. Oh, I can't see that.
Harry Dean Stanton.
Okay, well,
Like I said,
I hate to say this because I love John Hurt so much. It hurts me to say this, but I'm afraid, John Hurt,
gone.
you're gone.
All right then.
Well,
And Harry is on.
Harry's back in the ballpark.
Yeah, if I ever need to fall asleep again, maybe I'll watch Alien.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good nighttime movie.
Yeah, if I really need to get to sleep.
Well, the problem, as I was telling Jim, is I only saw this one today. I saw Aliens like 20 years ago, whatever it was, and that one is like high octane. And, jokes all over the place. And this one, compared to that one, it's like,
It's a serious
it's
sci-fi,
a serious, low sci-fi
horror
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that's my fault. I didn't see the original first, but
I didn't like Alien, and I didn't like Aliens
I loved it.
either.
Did you love Alien 3, though?
Alien 3 stunk. That's the one with...
They're on the prison planet.
Is that with Winona Ryder?
No,
That was
that's
4.
that's
That's
Aliens
4.
4.
Oh, 3. Yeah.
I believe in 3.
They're all the same. It's all garbage. I don't like the series.
In 3, Sigourney Weaver
I like
dies,
the
and
Alien series just as much as I like the Predator series, and
There you go.
I like those movies even more. I guess I like those movies more than the Alien versus Predator movies, but they're all crap.
I don't know.
It's rage.
First Predator was okay.
So wait, are you actually
rage.
saying you would give Alien a rage?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
I give Alien a rage.
That far, but
I might give the first Predator a med just for the scene where Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger
do
and
their
Ar-
high arm.
Yeah,
clap?
when they do their
Clasp
little,
hands.
when they clasp hands and they're both like flexing their muscles. That scene alone just
Is
made me
worth
laugh
it.
so
Makes-
hard.
it-
Makes the whole movie
the 2
worthwhile.
seconds of the
I don't
movie,
even
yeah.
know what happened after or
I-
before. It didn't matter.
I love your rating system. It's
good.
literally
That made it a
it's
mess.
literally the most consistent
it's
thing
just
on our
random.
on our show.
Yeah.
You can set your watch to it.
That's right. If there's a stupid scene, Bryce will change his rating. Nice. Well, the only other thing I have is to remind us, because I know I didn't have the strength to watch an Alicia Silverstone film, but just to remind us, we will eventually be watching Sister of the Groom.
You will. I don't think I will.
You might want to see it, Marie, because
I think
You
this
wanna have
might
your
be your
tea-
type of movie.
it could be you might save her from the list.
I guess the big question is if I can watch it for free, because I ain't paying to watch this.
Are you hearing that,
I'm
listeners?
sorry I
I
paid
haven't
$5
even
to watch
attempted
Alien.
to look for it.
Listeners, please go to our Buy Me a Coffee site so Murray can see this
GoFundMe
movie.
so I can watch this movie.
That's
Yeah,
right.
There you go.
That's good.
All right.
That's enough for the list this week. We had
All right, then. Yeah, I got nothing for the next week.
we basically just did a swap out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So I
Have you got any assignments for us?
No,
for next
because I had no idea.
Well, now you've got Harry Dean
I
Stanton.
had no idea
Murray.
what direction we were going. 'cause we wrapped up Christopher
Yeah,
Walken and
it was-
then didn't really have another direction to go.
As I
so-
say, one of these days we got to pull out the big guns and start just absolutely
Frances
obliterating.
McDormand.
either-
I was going to
yeah.
go with
Viola
Frances McDormand.
Davis.
Yeah.
I was going to go with her next, but
I think you should go Harry Dean Stanton because he's got a
Harry Dean
big
Stanton?
repertoire.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Murray will find us something for next week.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim accurately predicted that he would pull a rom-com from Bryce's 13-year-old girl's spirit animal bag of rage because he pulled What Happens in Vegas. Really, Bryce? Even I, the nerdy photographer, Casey the Great and Powerful, know you will get greater effect on Jim with musicals. Now, where was I? Oh yes, okay, hold on. This week, the gang from Two Idiots and a Dog have come back from their shameful first rage attempt when they dared the boys to see Sharknado. This time, they have a cinematic release they are certain will bring the rage when they dare Jim and Bryce to see the 2018 Robot vs. Kaiju action-adventure Pacific Rim Uprising. Let's check in with Jim and find out if what happened in Vegas should have actually stayed in Vegas, or if, just like the clap you caught in Sin City, it gets shared with everyone you come into contact with.
More robots.
More robots. It's a robot summer. Oh, everyone knows I love Vegas.
As do I.
But that doesn't mean the word Vegas is synonymous with fun. Well, not anymore after seeing this movie. Although Jason Sudeikis is hilarious. As is Rob Corddry. As always. Plus, Zach Galifianakis and the Queen herself, Queen Latifah. But funny how the other two main people in this film are not. And yet they are the two main people. I must mention, unlike Bryce though, just because some of the funniest people who are in fact hilarious in this movie has two leads that are exceptionally awful and in fact repulsive for the entire movie. Basically, stupid, annoying, and man-child Kushner. Is that it? Ashton Kushner? Kushner? Couchner?
Whoopee cushion.
Whoopi Kushner gets fired by his own dad because he's a doofus, and annoying, repulsive, and bad acting Diaz gets dumped by Sudeikis in a very, very funny scene involving butt stuff. That's right, Bryce. Butt stuff. Then they go to Vegas, and the rom-com stupidity starts. Oh, with sprinklings of funny by supporting cast. You know, actually, that I'm thinking about it now, there was quite a bit of sprinklings of funny in this. I may be changing my mind. Maybe this wasn't as bad as I'm remembering it. I mean, supporting cast was so funny. They basically took up 10 minutes of the film. And those 10 minutes were amazingly funny.
How long was the film?
It was really long. I can't remember. It was like 2 hours. Those 10 minutes might have been worth my 400 scene points I used to watch this movie.
Did you use 400
Wasted
scene
scene
points?
points
That
on
is
this?
awesome.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes, this was pretty okay and pretty funny. I think
was
this
it?
was actually, maybe it was a meh. I'm kidding.
course
It's
you are.
not. I don't rate things like Bryce. When a movie is unwatchable for an entire movie but 10 minutes, it doesn't make it anything but a rage.
I agree.
You literally, I couldn't have written this any better. He literally said the clasping of hands, which probably took 1 minute or 30 seconds, changed Predator from a rage to a meh.
But that was one of the great moments in cinematic history. That's different.
Well, Jason Sudeikis' butt stuff breakup with Diaz was also pretty breathtaking. Yeah, with the completely nonsensical plot, really bad comedic timing by our two leads, and oh yeah, the whole movie minus 10 minutes. I really forgot how awful these two are, especially when they're together, which makes this movie not just a rage, it's a double rage. They were both so repulsive. If they're not both on our repulsive list, they should go on our repulsive list.
One of them should.
I know one of them's actually on our... No, he's not. He's doubted. He's on our doubted.
Because I won't put him on the repulsive list because I don't find him
think
repulsive.
maybe you should
Plus,
watch this movie.
I have a feeling after his next release, he's coming off the doubted list because I think that movie looks great.
It does look pretty good, actually.
We'll see.
He just has to get it to Armando. That's all.
Yeah, anytime you want to bring up Cameron Diaz as repulsive on the in that segment, I will.
You can bet we'll be talking about Cameron Diaz next week.
Okay, well,
And she's so bad she retired from acting.
Yeah. Which is kind of unfortunate, but fortunate at the same time. Maybe?
Sure.
All right. So I guess next week we don't have to do any pulling. We're going to be watching Pacific Rim Uprising.
All right, then.
Which, if I seem to remember, was completely awful.
I'm sure it was.
I remember it not being as good as
The first
Pacific
one.
Rim. Yeah.
Which
I wa-
also wasn't that great.
I watched the first one. It's good.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's really good. It's not bad. But the second one,
Not so much.
it's pretty rage-inducing.
Not so
I'm pretty
much.
happy with our two idiots and their dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see.
They've redeemed themselves.
We'll see.
Well, yeah.
Well, we'll see. Oh, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Special thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of our Rager Dare.
And powerful case.
Yes, powerful Casey. Find us everywhere on social media at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. Buy some stuff and make us happy and get Murray to be able to see some terrible movies with us. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, please, make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on.